Hello viewers, so what I have here is my ST600 project bike, and if you remember from the last video, it was a very original bike, and as you can see I've made some changes to it. What I've decided is I'm going to do a 1x setup on it. So I removed the down tube shifters and put on cable stops, and then I've added a Shimano 105 brake shifter here. It's just one I had laying around, and I put on kind of a makeshift 1x crank. That's a 42 tooth on a crank that I had, and on the back I have a old Dior LX 8-speed mountain bike derailleur and a 11x32 cassette. And I just did this to try to see, is this going to work? Is it even feasible? And it works okay. So the ratios I have here are a 42 on the front and 11x32 on the back, which isn't enough range for this bike. And I bought a 11x42 9-speed cassette to see if that will work. So what derailleur am I going to be able to use on this? Well, I bought a 9-speed Sora derailleur that I'm going to use, and I know what you're thinking. You're saying, Mike, a 9-speed Sora is only good for 11x34, and you'd be right. However, I also purchased a Road Link, and according to their website I should be able to use the 11x42 with the Road Link. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this on and see if it works. Okay guys, so I've got the new cassette on, but I need to remove this derailleur. So first thing I want to do is take loose the cable. Hopefully that will just pop out of the way. Okay, and then I'll need to cut off this ferrule carefully. Okay, and then loosen the derailleur. And off it comes. Alright, so now I've got the Road Link, and apparently goes on just like this. So it catches in the stop there, like that. Okay, so I'm going to put that on. And I didn't see a torque spec on this, but I imagine 60 inch-pounds or somewhere around there would probably be good. It's a pretty simple thing. Okay, that's nice and tight. And then I have my new derailleur here, and we will put that on. Okay, the question is, does it need to be there? I guess, yeah, probably like that. So let me make sure that they're in line. Well, we will see. I almost forgot I should probably thread this on first before I get the chain. So I'll slide the cable in, get it seated. Ooh, that's not good. I may have to cut my cable housing, or hopefully I've got some slack I can pull. Hopefully that will be enough. I don't think I'll be able to get a ferrule on there though. Okay, Yeah, I've not done a good job there. Maybe I can squeeze a ferrule on the end there. Okay, let's find a chain. Okay, got a brand new 9-speed Shimano chain. I love a new chain on a bike. It just works so well. So I'm going to look, and this one has writing on both sides, and I don't see any arrows that say it needs to be on one way or the other. So I'm just going to thread it through this way. Without dragging it on the ground too much. Ugh. The other question I have with this is, will it be long enough? Because that 42 tooth is a big gear. So will it be enough? And how many teeth will I have to take off? Okay. So, okay. So I've got it started, but you see that there's already a fair amount of slack there. Well, what I'm going to do, so I'm going to drive the chain pin in, and hopefully this will work. If not, I've got other chain pins. Right. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So the chain is on. Yeah, it doesn't seem awesome right off the bat. But let's start playing with shifting and see what it feels like, guys. When I go to the top one, oh, I've run out. Okay. However, I do believe I will have enough to make it go the rest of the way. I don't like the noise it's making. I think I've threaded it wrong. Okay, so I'm just showing you what I did. It's a common error. I routed the chain, instead of through that little piece of metal there, I routed it over top of it. So rather than, push out a link and re-thread the chain, I'm just going to take this little plate off. I should be able to just loosen the bottom bolt and take this one out, and hopefully just remove the plate enough to get enough room, get the chain underneath that guard without making a mess of it. Which, my luck, it probably won't work out too well. So let me loosen the one on this side. I'm going to try to not remove this one at all. The top wheel I will most likely have to take off completely. Pull the derailleur up to remove as much tension from the chain as possible. Yeah, this is definitely not what I wanted to be doing, but it's a learning moment, right? So we all need to learn. So there it falls out. Oh boy, and of course everything fell out, but at least I'm able to get the chain back where it needs to be. Now I need to get the pieces of the jockey wheel that went flying. Okay, so I found the pieces. There's this little metal plate there. The other one stayed on the other side. So I'm going to put it back together and hopefully take enough slack out of here to get it to tighten back up. Not what I wanted to be doing. Okay, now you see that the chain is behind that guard. I know it's hard to see, but right there, the light shining, the chain is behind the guard. So let me just tighten these back up. And then there's the one on the other side. And these weren't that tight, so I'll just put a little tension on them. Probably about 15 inch-pounds if I had to guess. Alright, sounds like it's working better. Alright, let me turn the bike back around and let's see if we can get this thing shifting through the gears. Alright guys, so what I did is I adjusted the high stop and the low stop, or I think that's actually the low stop and that's the high stop. So when I shift, the derailleur won't come over too far as to hit the frame, and it won't go out too far as to hit the spokes. So that's one of the first things you want to do, is set those. It's pretty simple to do. You can just stand behind it and look at the jockey wheels and make sure they line up with the gear that they're on. The second part, which is a little bit trickier, is getting it to shift nicely up and down the gear range. And usually adjust that here with this is cable tension. There's usually one here and there's one up here on the front part of the bike too. So this is sometimes a compromise. I'll go through the gears and show you what I've got. So I'll go down to the bottom, of course. Just make sure it's in the lowest gear. And you hear that clicking. I'm not really thrilled with that, but slight clicking there. But I like the way it's shifting. That one's a bit tricky, but I like it when I shift. I want it to go immediately. I don't want any like clatter or anything like that. And then just dropping down through the range. So what I notice on this one is it doesn't like coming down to the lower gears. See, kind of clicky there. See how that one's not going? There it goes. It's a little slow. Shifts up good, down not so good. And that's about the best I could get it, unfortunately. So I might play with it some more, or I might just leave it at that. The other thing is I need to just go out and ride it, because you know, you put twisting on the bike and stamping on the pedals and it just changes things. So I may have to adjust it more, but overall I'm pleased with it. This has got a 42 tooth here, and the front ring is a 42, so I've got a 1-to-1 ratio for climbing up some hills. And this is a touring, like commuting bike, so if I want to put fenders and a rack and, you know, tote some stuff with it, it's the type of bike built for that. And then it still has a 42 by 11, which is not quite 4-to-1. It's about 3.8 something to 1. But for a bike like this, 3.8 something is maxing out about 33 miles an hour. You're probably going to spin it out 33 to 35. That's fast enough for this bike. So hope you enjoyed the video and got something out of it. We'll keep moving forward. Thanks for watching.